Tell us a little bit about how the COVID-19 situation has affected your business with sales and supply chain.
Absolutely. As we started getting indications about the COVID challenges coming out of China, we put a deliberate plan in place that allowed us to ensure that we had all of the products being manufactured. We have a number of factories in China that we're working with to manufacture our products. We put that plan in place in order to get ahead of what was the impending shutdown that appeared to be likely. It also happened to be coincided with the Chinese New Year. If you're familiar with China, during the Chinese New Year, the majority of the country shuts down for about 2 weeks to a month, depending on the location. And those people that are wherever they're working at, and many of the manufacturing centers located around Shenzhen and other places, they go back to their home provinces. And that's what happened in China. All the people dispersed out to their home provinces. And that's why a lot of the big factories, you look at Apple or Microsoft or IBM or others that manufacture there, they were impacted significantly. For us, we had our supply chain in place, and we were already moving forward to get our products in country as well as into some of our other warehouses around the world. What we saw when the U.S. started to do their shutdown, we had an almost immediate effect on our sales. It went from fairly strong sales to probably 1/10 or even less than that of sales at the moment when people really started realizing that we were shutting down our economy. As we started to evaluate what was happening, many of the companies were operating remotely. Work from home strategy. Well, that actually played right into what the Lagio product line is all about, our work and play strategy on the Lagio lap desk. And so we started redoing our marketing campaigns to reflect that work from home, as well as offering incentives and discounts for those workers affected by the COVID-19 shutdowns. And so we started ramping sales back up again, but we're still not to pre-virus COVID shutdowns levels yet. And a lot of that, I think, has to do with, many people have lost their jobs. Many people are working from home, but may be thinking, okay, this is only temporary and I should be going back to the office soon, as well as, what's the future look like? And so we're hopeful that, as the economy opens back up again and we get a handle on, what's going on with the virus itself, we'll get back to what is somewhat level of normalcy, I hope, for both the United States and around the world. We have customers who are from around the world that do come to us. And, originally I spoke briefly before, we had an international strategy of supporting and supplying out of the United States internationally, but the supply chain and logistics of that made it really unattractive and unaffordable for both the consumer and for us. We had to offer a lot of incentives and it just wasn't working out. So we're working on those international strategies now, putting partners in place in those regions internationally that will be kind of our both logistics, warehousing, fulfillment, as well as possibly our sales agents in the regions as well.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the LA Business Podcast. If you like what we're doing on this podcast, please consider subscribing on Apple or Google Play, leaving a 5-star review, and sharing with your friends. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations for a guest you'd like to hear on this podcast, please email me, robert@brillmedia.co. Thank you. Have a fantastic day.